Hey Capricorn, welcome to your reading. I'm Empress Rose. This is a general reading. Everything won't apply to every Capricorn out there. So take what works for you and leave what doesn't. Also feel free to check out your moon, rising, and Venus signs. And all the cards are pre-shuffled and prepared before you even get here. So, all right, we're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments. Oh, I also wanted to thank you guys for your comments and likes and subscriptions. It's really helping my little baby channel grow a bit week by week, and I really appreciate it. So keep up the good work, folks. All right, so Oracle of Mystical Moments. All right, what's our message for Capricorn? What does Capricorn need to know this week? Perfect. All right. We've got the white rose of hope here. This is a hope. It's a reflection. It's very close to your heart. It's something you're dreaming of, you're hoping for. It's light is sustaining you in some way. This hope that you have brings you light and life. Your eyes are closed here, so you're not really seeing, that there is a reason to hope, but you're still having the hope. And you're holding it very close to you, but you're not, it doesn't look like, you're in a desert landscape. There's nothing around you that's giving you cause to hope. There's no logical reason to hope. There's no evidence that you see. It's a very internal thing that you're having. There's a light inside of you that's keeping the sparks inside you, the life inside you alive. You have a hope even though there's no evidence for it. Even though it looks like you've been sort of stranded out here in this desolate wasteland with nothing but hope. And then you also have the gardener. I don't know how you're going to garden out here, but you know what? Planting a seed is some of the greatest hope, evidence of hope that we have, because that seed does look barren. The seed looks like a dried up piece of detritus from a dead flower is what it looks like. So you're the gardener. You're going to grow this. There's a home situation. You're growing something in your home. Again, look, she's again got her hands across her torso here. She's holding on again to something. This is a flower, but the flower she's growing is a home. So you're growing something, a place of comfort, a place of, there's kind of this whole village in this picture, and you are tending to your own place, your own home, your own situation. And there's two homes, so we might be talking about two places. I find it interesting that they're both white, and there's some similarities between these cards. We're holding on to something. She's holding on to this hope, this imagined flower, this imagined future. And then here she's holding on to something that is actually growing. It does need to be planted and is her own private piece of the village. It's going to contribute and add to the village life, but it's going to be her own piece that she's tended to, that you've tended to all by yourself. There's a lot of solo energy here, a solo dreaming. It's your own private dream, it's your own private vision, and it's your own work that's going to grow it and build it, but it's something that's going to contribute to the greater good. All right, for the general reading, we're going to go into the Santa Muerte deck. Again, pre-shuffled. All right, Capricorn. What's Capricorn's week look like? What's Capricorn's week look like? What's Capricorn's week look like? Capricorn, this is your past, this is your present, this is your inner landscape, this is that issue, this is your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Okay. All right. In your recent past, you have one of my favorite cards in this deck, Temperance. And I love the way it's depicted here because you see both the light and the dark. You see this dark angel figure, widow figure, but also she has a halo. So she's both a Grim Reaper and the Mother Mary. She's both things, and she's combining things. You have desert plants mixed with jungle plants. There's a little bit of unsettled energy, so there's activity going on, and it's an activity of taking your hot mug and your glass of ice and you're making some lukewarm water, which doesn't sound very good at all. But you're bringing two extremes together and making them more comfortable, a more comfortable place. So we're not like we're bringing the hot, humid jungle and the desert that we see here. We're bringing the desert energy, and we're bringing this dry desert energy and this hot, humid jungle energy. Both environments might be a little uncomfortable, and we're bringing them together and mixing them up and creating a perfectly temperate environment that we're going to love being in. So that's the sort of energy we're having in your recent past. Desert, pond, jungle, cactus, light, dark, all of this is sort of, you've been in this process of negotiating these two things to find a happy medium between the two. So Temperance is the card of actively looking for a happy medium. Your present situation is the Sun card. You're happy, Capricorn. You've grown some things. You've got a bluebird singing. You've got music playing. You've got a harmony between friends. You've got everything you need here. You've got some wishes that have come true. You've got just pure straight happiness. That's your present situation. So that's cool. And then in your inner landscape, though, so all around you is a lot of happiness, is a lot of growth. I feel like the sunshine is helping you grow these little lily of the valley houses here. And the sunshine is making things grow. So there's a lot of like gardening vibe here, garden vibe. But in your inner landscape, internally, you've got the Devil card. And I like this deck because it describes the Devil card as a passion that pulls at you. And a lot of times our passions and our intuitions and stuff like that aren't things we fully control. And so this is a card of, like who we love or what sparks joy in us. This isn't something you get to intellectually decide in life. This is something that you're born with, that spirit guides you to. I don't really want to call the devil a spirit, but this is sort of this can be a bedeviled energy. I was actually just thinking about this card. I don't usually read the signs in the cards, but this is the Capricorn card. And I don't know how that jives because, I mean, it's just a drivenness maybe. The Capricorns I know are very driven, have their own visions, their own passions, and are very driven to them. But this is sort of so internally you have sort of this bedeviling thing, this thing that's controlling you, that's a little bit out of your grasp. So it looks like you might not be in full control over your inner situation. You might have some inner turmoil there or some obsessiveness going on, and you're not fully in control of it. It seems to be something in your spirit, something outside yourself that is sort of pulling at you. And I think that this is probably annoying to you and confusing because you're being controlled by a passion that's much bigger than you. So this can be like addictions too, addictions to thought patterns, addictions to actual things. We have oh my gosh, we have these same musicians here with these same guitars that are in the sunshine card. So in the sunshine, they're just fine, but internally they're being controlled by a higher power, or an unseen force. So in this deck, this is the inspiration card. This is an inexplicable inspiration in some ways. So I like that interpretation with this deck, an inexplicable inspiration. But I find it fascinating that we have these same two musicians wearing the same clothes, the same sombreros with the same guitars. And they're happy and free, but internally there's something going on where these musicians are not free and are sort of beholden to something else. And then what is at issue is this Four of Pentacles, so we take it reversed. So there's some serious control issues going on over money, over property, over any sort of physical aspect. There are some very serious control issues. And control issues obviously have control as a coin, and obviously there's two sides. And you will know what side you're on, and if you're, unless your Capricorn sign is contradicted by other signs, you're going to probably be in the controlling of your a very controlling environment. But it could be a lack of control as well. So in the reverse, it's sort of the situation gone wrong, so that you may not have very much control. Someone else may have more control over your finances and over your possessions than you do right now. You may not have control, not necessarily because you are out of control, although with this devil energy that could be the case, but it could be an obsessiveness. And with this internal card being the devil card, I'm wondering if maybe you might be obsessing over money, over material objects, just controlling that, trying to having an obsession over that. So that's sort of an issue that's affecting you, is control over your earthly resources. So in your environment, you have the Seven Pentacles. So this is another, there's a lot of calculating going on here. This is an abacus you have. There's ideas that you're moving around the abacus, but it is a Seven of Pentacles. So it's ideas about earthly possessions. Again, we have sort of this earthiness going on here. So for the Capricorn here, and this earthiness, and this is a lot of calculating about money, earthly possessions, ideas about earthly possessions, concepts about how you conceive about money. What's your relationship to money? And so this is in your environment. There's a lot of sort of there's a lot of calculating of what's worth what, and how you want to move assets around and that kind of thing. There's just a lot of calculating going on in your environment about money and assets. And on your to-do list is this King of Wands energy. So this is your to-do list. So this is saying that you need to come into this power, this energy. This King of Wands, he's inspired, he's a leader. So this is asking you to come into sort of a natural leadership position in your life, where you need to come up with some ideas, you need to guide people forward, you need to be inspired, you need to listen to your passions and let them lead you. So here you are, you're in charge, you're the leader, you're pointing, honestly, you're pointing straight to the sun. As these cards are laid out, you're pointing at the sun. So you're pointing at your energy needs to come into a place where you are inspiring people towards happiness, towards this divine light. You need to be embodying that and taking a leadership role in inspiring others and in moving things forward, and helping others to see the light and to see the sunshine, and to see the light. I mean, basically, the way these are laid out, you're pointing directly to the sun, and I think you need to come into an energy where you are inspiring people to see the light. And then A possible outcome we have is the Hanged Man. This is a healthy timeout. This is there's a storm going on around you, and you are to remain in some sort of calm centered place. You're to deal with your emotions. You're to deal with your feelings. You're to let time pass. Let this storm blow itself out a little bit. You've got this third eye opening up. I like to think of that as sort of the black light. That is looking at our lives and seeing the things that normally in our day-to-day lives aren't seen. So you need to stay calm, present. Look, he's holding on he's grasping onto this post here. So he's holding very tight to something. Is he holding very tight to the very thing that's holding him in that's hanging him? It's the very device that's hanging him. He's holding on to it very tightly. So you may be coming into a situation in which your desire is to hold on to something, to grasp onto something that harms you. And I feel like that idea is supported by this internal double energy of not necessarily being in control of grasping onto something or being holding on to something that's harming you. But this is generally it's a time out. It's a time to let the storm pass, let the storm blow itself out, while you are to be doing a lot of internal work, dealing with this devil within, dealing with this stuff. This internal work here, I think, is echoed by this white rose of hope. And I think pointing to the sun here, your King of Wands energy pointing to the sun is also talking about a light, looking to a guiding light, a happiness. And maybe that happiness is just within. I suppose it's entirely possible that this white rose of hope is also your hanged thing. But here we have the grasping. We have the grasping energy in your Four of Pentacles. And we have this gardener, this growing of something. And I think this is what you're calling people to do, is to see this hope, to have this hope, and to grow towards this light. And as you do that, I mean, I'm seeing that your gardener energy is here to be a light to others and to inspire others, because you're bringing it to the village. You're bringing your contribution to the community life. And I believe that this to-do list, this King of Wands energy that you need to step into is also bringing light and hope to your community. It's a hope that you hold, and you're going to grow it into something that contributes and helps others to see light and to see hope. So that's an energy that will take something out of you. So revive by having some alone time, looking within, and letting some storms pass. While you remain sort of silent and hanging out. This is the Hanged Man sounds so scary, but it's a really positive energy of finding a lot of within us, finding a well within us, finding peace within ourselves, dealing with our own toxicity while time passes and the storm blows itself out. So it's a lot of finding your own inner hope. All right, Capricorn, I hope that was helpful. Please continue to like and comment, and you can only subscribe once. If you haven't done so, please do so already, and we can grow my little channel. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.